Well, there should be another sellout crowd here at Safeco Field tonight, which would be the 51st sellout crowd here this year. It's a night that the Mariners can clinch the American League West pennant, and it's a night that I think we feel a bit more comfortable with than last night because we're back in business, open for business. To you all, a very pleasant good evening, everybody. Dave Niehaus with Ron Fairley. It felt good to get back in harness, so to speak, last night, right?
Yes, there's no question about that. And, of course, our hearts go out to those at the World Trade Center, the firemen and the police department there in New York, for those that lost their lives. But, you know, part of the fabric of this country is a game called baseball. And I'm glad, for one, that we're back playing it.
Absolutely. It was certainly therapeutic last night for everybody here to see that first pitch, to see that final out. And quite frankly, even though it was a Mariner victory, I'm not so sure it was important that the Mariners win the ball game. It was important that baseball was back in business. And indeed they were. And tonight they are wide open and hoping that tonight is the night the Mariners can claim another Western Division title. You talk about Purple Mountain Majesty. We have it here tonight, and we have a great game coming up.
Well, the Mariners have taken the field, and right now Jamie Moyer is starting to loosen up. Let's take a look at the Angels starting lineup for this evening's ball game. It'll be Erstad, Eckstein, Anderson, Loss, Salmon, Fernandez, Molina, Gill, and Nieves. Jamie Moyer on the mound, and for Moyer, this will be his 30th start of the year, and is going after his 18th victory of the year, a record of 17-5. You can see the percent of fastballs, changeups, sliders, and curveballs. Mixes his pitches up well and has won his last 8 straight decisions. Defensively, behind Moyer tonight, John Olerud will be at first base. At second base, Brett Boone. Third baseman, once again, will be Mark McLemore. David Bell out for a few days. The shortstop, Carlos Guillen, swinging the bat well once again. Out in left field, there he is, Bone. Jay Buhner out in left field. In center field, Mike Cameron. And in right field will be Ichiro. Had 3 hits in the game last night. And behind the plate, Dan Wilson will be calling the pitches for Jamie Moyer. Moyer in his last outing was 10 days ago, and when he beat Baltimore, pitched an outstanding game, shutting them out 6-0. He went 7 innings in that game and allowed only 1 run on 2 hits, walked only 1, struck out 4. This will be his 4th start against the Angels this year as you look at Moyer's season numbers. And Moyer is 2-1 against the Halos this year, has a lifetime mark of 9-8 in the 26 games that he has faced Anaheim.
Darren Erstad steps in to lead it off. Jamie Moyer hasn't lost in over 2 months. The last time he lost a ball game was right after the All-Star game. And it started against the Giants on July the 13th. And here is Erstad. We are underway. And the man behind the plate says no go. That's too high, is Tim Timmons. Calling balls and strikes with Dale Scott at first base, Jim Joyce at second, and Bill Miller around at third. 2-0 the count. 63 degrees at game time. A little bit of a breeze out of the northwest at 8 miles an hour. Last 12 starts, look at that record, and look at that ERA.
Well, not only that ERA is way down there, but Moyer's ERA here at Safeco Field. Well, you talk about a guy that has learned how to pitch in this ballpark. Has to be Jamie. His ERA is 2.45 here at Safeco Field. That is the lowest home ERA throughout the American League.
Erstad pops it up. And an easy play for Olerud to make the catch for out number 1. Down at the ballpark at Arlington, Alex Rodriguez is 3 for 3, a home run, 2 RBIs. Texas in the 6th, leading the A's 8-4. Texas wins. It's all over. The Mariners clinch the West. They clinch the best record in baseball. They clinch home field advantage all the way to the World Series. If they get to the World Series, home field advantage then shifts to the National League because that's just the way it is every other year. One league has the advantage, and this year it's the National League's turn.
And if the Mariners do get to the World Series, look at their road record. It is the best in baseball.
Their next win on the road will tie There's a bunt foul down the third baseline by Eckstein. 0-2 will tie the American League record for road victories, 55. They'll be on the road beginning on Friday against the Oakland Athletics, the first of a 3-game series. And then when they come home, they'll have 3 against the A's, 6 very important ball games. Because they figure that they each want to make a statement to each other. Oakland, quite frankly, has a better record than the Mariners since the All-Star break. The Mariners are 42-16 since the break. 43-14 are the Oakland Athletics. 0-2 the count on Eckstein. Just a little bit inside with that cutter. A ball and 2 strikes. Reached out for that fastball. Maybe a ball.
You see the way that David Eckstein goes up to the plate. He's a nuisance up there at the plate. Doesn't really scare you with a long ball, but he sure is a pesky hitter. He is tough to strike out. He puts the ball in play.
He may be tough to strike out, but
like I said, he's easy to strike out.
Boy, the bottom fell off that changeup.
Take a look at it again. Now you can see Jamie with that great changeup. Not only was it a good in terms of speed, but look where the location was. It was low and outside, and had Eckstein reaching for him.
Garrett Anderson is a man that has as much success as anybody in the lineup. More success than anybody in the lineup against Moyer. A .439 hitter against him with 4 home runs. Speaking of home runs, Jamie's given up 23. That's the bad news. The good news is he hasn't given up a home run in the last 38 innings. Broken bat. You talk about being sawed off. Look out, Jamie. Jamie had to get out of the way of that. Head of that bat rolling out toward second base. Anderson is gone. The Angels are gone. 1, 2, 3 here in the first inning. So Moyer looking as sharp as ever. Ichiro, Guillen, and Boone when we come back. The Angels don't score.
Well, the Angels did not score in their half of the first inning. Let's quickly take a look at the Mariners starting lineup for this evening's ballgame. It'll be Ichiro, Guillen, Boone, Martinez, Olerud, Cameron, Buhner, Wilson, and then McLemore. On the mound, the left-hander, Scott Schoenweiss, with a record of 10-9. You can see the scouting report. 64% fastballs. His fastball anywhere from 88 to 91 miles an hour. And he throws a slider and a changeup to go along with that. And for Scott Schoenweiss, this will be his 29th start of the year. He has 1 complete game. In his last outing, not involved in a decision against the Kansas City Royals. He went 7 1/3 innings in that game, only allowed 3 runs. However, against the Mariners this year, has a record of 0-2 and an ERA rather high at 11.11.
Yeah, the Mariners have treated him very rudely, and here is Ichiro bunting the ball. Schoenweiss will have to hurry his throw, and he gets him. Good play by Scott Schoenweiss. As Ichiro bidding for a bunt single. Denied. Outstanding play by the pitcher.
Schoenweiss getting off that mound in a hurry. And of course, I think it's easier for a left-hander to get off to the third baseline, simply because a lot of times their momentum is carrying them toward that side of the diamond. But the left-hander getting over there very, very quickly. Good play by the left-hander.
Schoenweiss 0-2 in his 3 starts. And that ERA, although it wasn't up there, figures to be over 11.15. Carlos Guillen with that wide open stance from the right side, and he closes it in a hurry. 2-0. Schoenweiss, a native of New Jersey, makes his home in Arizona. And he walked it. So Carlos Guillen On down to first base, and here comes Brett Boone, who is a top hitter in the league against left-handed pitching. He's hitting .459 against left-handers and .444 against shots shown wise.
Well, you talk about a year that Brett Boone is having, and obviously going to be one of the top candidates for the MVP in the American League.
Bingo, fastball right down the middle. Boone has not only a 10-game hitting streak, and you see he's hitting .400 in that streak. He has hit in 20 of his last 21. That In the Zone feature brought to you by Chevy. Nice job of stopping the ball by Bolino. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, there are quite a few guys in the lineup that have hit home runs off of Schoenweiss. Guillen is homered against him, Boone, Edgar Martinez, Mike Cameron, Dan Wilson. So a lot of guys in the lineup tonight have taken this pitcher, Schoenweiss, deep.
A little bit outside.
I was laughing at Booney last night. He said after the ball game, he says, you know what, I had so many good pitches to hit last night, and he says, I missed every one of them. He says, do you think I can do that the rest of the year? I said, I don't think so. He said, I don't think so either. He said, look out, I might be hot tomorrow night. That's tonight.
High and away, ball 3.
I get a kick out of Boone. Talking to him prior to the ball game or after a ball game. He's got a great sense of humor, and he's not adverse to poking some fun at himself.
Way outside. So it's Joaquin and Boone back to back. Now he has to deal with Edgar Martinez. A .500 hitter against him.
Well, you can see the concern on Mike Schoss's face, manager of the Angels. And seeing that Guillen and Boone have just been walked and now has to face Edgar Martinez, who is 5 for 10 in his career against this guy right here, Scott Schoenweiss.
Two on, 1 down, just the start of things. And a good breaking ball that time. Had a late break to it. Came right back with the heater.
91-mile-an-hour fastball. Schoenweiss is primarily a fastball slider ball pitcher. Does not throw that many changeups. And he has a lot of confidence with his fastball and slider.
And a high foul off the first base side. We noticed that the New Angels caps with the American flag on them have arrived. You can see the flag on the side of Benji Gill's cap there. Scott Schoenweiss. Some of the, I believe the Mariners have too. Some have them on, some do not. I noticed Jamie Moyer didn't, but Mike Cameron did. They were all made, as I understand it, in Alabama. And they just got here. 0-2. Down low with a change, 1-2. Here's Freddie Garcia, and he's got a new cap on, and that is news. Whether or not he wears that when he pitches is another thing.
I doubt that he will. He's superstitious. Man, that hat that the Chief wears, if he's winning, he's wearing it.
Edgar backs away from the sinker, low and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I want to wish Neris Williams a very happy 82nd birthday. About this time every year we get a chance to wish her a happy birthday. I know she's a tremendous Mariners fan. I hope you're enjoying the ball game tonight, Neris. 2-2. And it's outside, ball 3, 3-2.
Well, you look for the runners to go. You know, Lou likes to send the runners. 3-2. He's done it all year long. You have a guy out there at the plate that makes a lot of contact, and that is Edgar Martinez.
And the runners go, and it swung on and a high pop-up, hit down the left field line that will drift well back into the seats. Dean, pretty good speed at second base. Brett Boone, pretty good speed at first. And John Olerud, who had himself a fine night last night, is on deck. There they go again, and the pitch is swung on and hit the other way. Again, back into the stands. Edgar's looking for that kind of elusive double. Looking for his 37th double of the year that would get him even with his idol, Roberto Clemente, 440. Ninth pitch coming up to Edgar Martinez from Schoenweis. And they go again. And he walked him, so he's walked, the bases loaded. He's walked Guillen, Boone, and Edgar Martinez consecutively.
And with that, that'll bring out Buddy Black, the pitching coach of the Angels. Kind of settle Schoenweis down and see if the Mariners can take advantage of those 3 walks.
Well, John Olerud hit a grand slam home run off the Angels on April the 21st. And he's got a chance to do it again here. Greg Washburn, who pitches tomorrow, was the recipient of the blast by John Olerud. His 7th career grand slam. John last night had an RBI with a sacrifice fly. His 82nd.
And this year, Olerud has hit well against Anaheim pitching, a .353 average against the Angels this year with a home run and 10 runs driven in. Right now, they're playing for the double play ball.
Blowing outside. The Angels struggling against the Mariners this year. They've won only 3 of 15 games. And that's low, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes, and the hitter's the life now.
Yeah, you can look for a ball that you can drive. Right now, Schoenweis needs to make a real good pitch. He's thrown 21 pitches thus far. And look out on the next 2 pitches. Look out.
And he misses outside, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes, and Olerud, I believe, will be taking, but I'm not sure, to tell you
Well,
the
not
truth.
sure. I mean, you could blow the game wide open right here. Lou might give him the green light, but more than likely, I think he's going to be taken.
He did. Down the middle, 3-1.
I mean, they've just walked 3 guys in front of you. Why would you want to swing, and help the pitcher out? Now, he's thrown a strike, go ahead. Now you can go ahead and take a whack at it.
And strike 2 called. Olerud was on his way to first. A slider on the outside corner. 3-2. The Mariners have scored more runs in the first inning than any other. 113 runs this year in the first inning. And there's 3 of them out there for Olerud. And a ground ball to the shortstop. There's one, and the throwback to first base is in time for the double play. So a nice piece of clutch pitching by Scott Schoenweis, who walked the bases loaded with 1 down and 3 consecutive walks, goes 3-0 and John Olerud, and comes back and gets him to bounce into a double play, and the Mariners have to put up a 0. No score after 1. Old Glory at half-staff atop the Space Needle as we get set to go to the second inning of play. A beautiful night here in Seattle. 63 degrees at game time, and Troy Gloss will step in and lead it off, the third baseman for the Angels. Fly ball to deep right field and right back to the wall to make the catch is Ichiro. Well, it's fun to watch go get a baseball. He had it all the way.
Well, you know, if you look at the way that Ichiro went after that ball, he got back to the fence and then ran parallel with the fence, so he didn't have to worry about running into it. But look at it again. As you can see that the fly ball going to right field, and Ichiro getting back, takes a quick look to see where the fence is, and now he's running parallel with it. So you don't have to worry about the fence at all. Not many outfielders do it that way.
Timmy Salmon is the hitter. On the outside corner. Moyer misses with a change.
Here's another guy that has taken Moyer deep 3 times. Though he's only a .268 hitter against Jamie, he's hit him for power.
A change a little bit outside. The Mariners in their last 5 games have been absolutely awesome. They've outscored their opponents 31-3. So he walks Salmon now with 1 down. And Jose Fernandez, who hasn't played that much, only had 19 at-bats to be the hitter. I asked Jamie before the game how much he knew about Jose Fernandez, and he said nothing. And he usually knows a little bit about everybody in the lineup.
Well, the reason he doesn't know much about Fernandez is that he spent the entire year down there at Salt Lake City, their AAA ball club, where he really put together an outstanding season. And he had .338 for the Stingers, 30 home runs, and drove in 114 runs, made the All-Star team there in the AAA level. You know, it's unusual that you have a player hit 30 home runs and drive in over 100 that remains down at the AAA level all year long. You don't see that very much anymore.
Of course, the big bat that the Angels have missed all year long, Big Mo Vaughn, who they hope to have back next year. So he's got a pretty big swing.
Well, yeah, he does. He's put together. He's 6'2", weighs 185 pounds, out of Santiago down in the Dominican Republic, signed as a free agent in January. And obviously he's a good hitter. I mean, after all, he hit .338 there on that AAA level. And I would imagine he's a pretty good breaking ball hitter. Seems like any player that comes to the major leagues from any of the Latin America countries, they're good breaking ball hitters. The reason being is that they grow up down there in those countries, and all the kids down there, they all throw a lot of breaking balls. They're accustomed to seeing that pitch.
One and two on it. And a fly ball off the end of the bat. Ichiro just a step in to make the easy catch. So with 2 down, Benji Molina will be the hitter. The Angels head down to Texas after tomorrow afternoon's game. And the Mariners go into Oakland. Line drive right to Guillen, the shortstop. So Benji Molina hits it right on the screws, but right to Carlos Guillen. And as we go to the bottom of the second, it'll be Cameron, Buhner, and Wilson due up for the Mariners. No score. No score here moving into the bottom half of the second inning. Don't forget now, after this ball game on the Northwest Sports Report, complete post-game coverage from the clubhouse here. Also on the field, and it might be a very, very special night. All that and more coming up after the game on the Northwest Sports Report. We note that they are in the seventh inning with Texas leading Oakland 8-4 down at the ballpark in Arlington. Oakland is at bat in the top half of the seventh. Texas wins. The Mariners are champions no matter what they do. One the count on Mike Cameron.
Last night, Cameron snapped a 10-game hitting streak, for which time he's now batting .370 during that stretch. But he's hit safely now in 10 of the last 11 games.
Three and one with all the seats pretty well filling in here. Of course, security is much tighter since the tragedy in New York, Washington, and Pennsylvania. Oakland, man out, runners on first and third. Leading by 4 in the seventh. That's an interesting fly. That is very, very clever, isn't it? A little bit outside, and that's already 4 walks now for Scott Schoenweiss. And here comes Mr. Buhner. These are big 17 games, or at least the number of games Buhner gets to play. Of course, he's starting tonight. With the left-hander going tomorrow, good chance that they'll start tomorrow, too. And Buhner is one of the big stories that came out during the week that we didn't have baseball was that Jay is very interested in coming back next year, but he hits a little fly ball on the first pitch to Erstad. And he's got to find out if there's any baseball left in him in the final couple of weeks here.
Dave, I don't know that he's going to play tomorrow. He might play, but I think Lou might be a little bit concerned of Jay playing a night game followed by a day game, testing that foot. I mean, he may wait for some other left-handers to be pitching against the Mariners, and we'll play those games. But I don't know that he's going to play tomorrow.
Dan Wilson, the hitter. 1-1.
Dan, another one of the Mariners in the lineup tonight that have hit at least one home run off of Schoenweiss.
Benji Gill doesn't look real comfortable over there at first base.
Well, he came up as a shortstop. You know, a lot of times you say he doesn't look comfortable. A lot of times he's getting accustomed to using a different kind of glove.
I was just watching when they throw over to first base. First of all, he's not holding one. There's nothing unusual about that. Some first basemen don't. It's just the way he was kind of hunting for the bag when they went back to the bag.
Yeah, it's a little bit different when you're so accustomed to playing shortstop, like Benji Gill has been in his career. You stick him over there at first base.
And Wilson sends a high fly ball to deep left field, and back to make the catch is the left fielder Anderson, Garrett Anderson. like for a moment it might have a shot, but not quite enough oomph on it. So 2 down. Next season, the Mariners, of course, celebrating their 25th anniversary. Although this is their 25th year, they celebrate the 25th anniversary next year. You can make sure you are part of the fun. Deposits for 2002. Full and partial season ticket plans are now being taken. A chance to lock in your place here at Safeco Field for every game. Number to call, 346-4001. That's area code 206 during regular business hours. Mark McLemore taking the spot of David Bell. See what I mean? Over there, first base.
You know, Schoenweiss not careful. He's liable to pick, not the base runner, he's liable to pick Benji Gill off.
Stumbling almost over the bag.
Take a look at the footwork. Trying to get back, now reach across your body and see if you can't prevent from stumbling over the bag. See, everybody says first base is an easy place to play. Try it sometime.
1-0 on Mark McLemore. Schoenweiss, 27 years of age. Already 37 pitches. You can't keep walking people without paying the price. That pitch is lined into the corner down the left field line. So over to play it on the hop is Anderson to third base, and around third is Cameron. He's going to score. The Mariners lead it 1-0 on an RBI double by Mr. Everything, Mark McLemore. Mac with a nice little 5-game hitting streak, and finally, I heard him get out of the mouth that you can't walk people without paying the price, and the leadoff base on balls has come in to score.
And you talk about making a guy feel good up there is McLemore. The one team that he'd really like to hit well against, doubles down in the left field corner. He's 49th RBI of the year. McLemore has more RBIs this year than he had all of last year. He's topped that figure, having quite a season in his 13th Major League year.
McCamey had it in high gear all the way from first base and scored easily.
And boy, that time crossed up, Schoenweiss crossed up Molina. Now they're going to go out there and go over the signals, go over the signs one more time. But certainly crossed up Molina. Either that or Molina crossed up himself. Years ago, Choo-Choo Coleman was a catcher for the Mets. And he'd reach down and he'd flash out the signs and have to look down to see what fingers he was putting.
There's a line drive into left field. It's going to be caught by Garrett Anderson. So Garrett Anderson quickly over to his right to make the catch, and that denies the Mariners another run. But they do score one, and after two, have an early 1-0 lead. Mariners 1-0 over the Angels as we go to the third inning of play. Don't forget now that when you come out here to Safeco Field, a great pregame experience. Right across from the home plate entrance is the Outback Outpost. Boy, they have the good food. They have the famous juicy steaks, the tender chicken, and of course, that signature piece of theirs, that bloomin' onion. It's a coming out to the Mariners Outback Outpost this week. Only one more game, however, this week. That's tomorrow afternoon, the 3:35 game. And then the Mariners will be gone for a while. Here's Benji Gill leading it off, taking a steam right, 0-1. A nice slider that time to Gill, swinging from the heels. Two and two. Gant, Long, and Tejada due up in the top of the 8th for the A's, trailing Texas 8-4. That's into the air too long, I believe, because that man can go get it. And he's just loping in to make the easy catch. Mike Cameron is one down.
You know, all you have to do is watch the ball and just in your mind see how long it stays in the air. And at a certain point, you realize Cameron can reach it. He can get to it.
Jose Nieves, the second baseman, the hitter. He's swinging from his heels at that change. Another one, same result. And the same result again on a slow curveball. So Jose Nieves is gone easily against Jamie Moyer.
Look at that last pitch, taking even a little bit more off the pitch. And Nieves really hasn't had a chance to hit off of Moyer very often. He's way, way out in front. Second strikeout.
Erstad takes a strike on the outside corner. Darren out in front popped the ball up to Olivu in the first. And routine ground ball to John this time to take it to the bag for an easy 1-2-3 inning. And as we come back, it'll be Guillen, Boone, and Edgar Martinez. Jamie Moyer spinning another dandy. 1-0 Mariners. Dave Niehaus with Ron Fairley at beautiful Safeco Field on a lovely evening. The Mariners with the 1-0 lead. The clutch two-out double by Mark McLemore, scoring Mike Cameron from first base last inning. And Carlos Guillen will lead it off. There's Mac in the front of your screen. There's Freddie Garcia, the man who won last night. All bundled up tonight. And still, of course, a lot of the red, white, and blue showing here tonight. Again, God Bless America accompanying our national anthem for the ball game. Schoenweiss on the outside corner to Carlos Guillen. Ground ball back up the middle. So Carlos Guillen with a little 4-game hitting streak going for himself. Nice sweet stroke right back up the middle. Be sure to enter the Office Depot Chance of a Lifetime sweepstakes. You can win the opportunity to throw out a pitch at the Mariners' final regular season home game, or tons of other great prizes like gift certificates to the Mariners team store and more. To enter, just stop by any participating Office Depot throughout the Northwest. Here's Boone now. Right down the middle, 0-1. Another fastball that challenged him.
Boy, and I tell you what, Boone took quite a wiggle at it that time. Looked like he had that ball timed to hit it towards center field. He took a great cut at it.
One and two. Balls, 2 strikes. Oakland is out in the 8th. Billy Hasselman is at the plate down in Texas, leading off the bottom half of the 8th. Oakland only 3 more outs left to them to come up with at least 4. That's ripped just foul. Chavez, Santangelo, and Damon due up in the 9th inning for the A's. Down low and inside, Billy Hasselman just hit a home run, so put 1 more up on the board for the Texas Rangers, who lead it 9-4. Boone sends a ground ball to first, and Gill turns around after thinking about going down to second, decides you better get the sure out, and heads back to the first base bag. Texas has just hit another home run to make it 10-4 Texas. Pena, the young outfielder Carlos Pena, his second home run tonight, has just hit a solo home run off Luis Vizcaíno of Oakland. So things are looking mighty sweet now for the Mariners. Here's Edgar Martinez. A strike on the inside corner, 0-1.
You know, I'm surprised that Gill didn't go down to second base to get Guillen on the force out, and that ball was hit by Boone. He had time. All he had to do was throw it down to the shortstop covering.
On 1 on Edgar. Ball, 1 strike. Of course, the thing that will be the carrot for the Mariners after they clinch will be the all-time record. They still have plenty of time to go after that. 114 victories, the American League record set by the Yankees in '98, and the '06 Cubs 116. Edgar Martinez takes a strike. 16 more to go after tonight. Edgar, a fly ball to deep left field, but I think he got around on it a little bit quickly and pushes it foul.
Sean Weiss came back with that slider right in the hands of Edgar. And the only thing Edgar could do to prevent from breaking the bat was to pull the ball foul.
The Mariners win tonight. Not only do they clinch the division title, but another series, of course, which would be their 38th series. Edgar pulled the bat back, I think. Yes. 2-2. But still, the amazing thing to me about this ball club is the fact they have not lost more than 2 games in a row all year long. Strike 3 called, and Edgar didn't care for that call. So down he goes. It's the new show that everyone's been talking about. The Best Damn Sports Show, period. That's the name of it, featuring a comedian who's a huge sports fan and a bunch of ex-jocks who really know their game, with commentary, updated scores, and highlights. Premiering Monday night at 7:30 and 11:30 only on Fox Sports Net. Olerud with a chance to pick up an RBI. 1-0.
Olerud had a great opportunity back in the first inning. Had bases loaded, but didn't hit into a double play.
Into the upper deck. Down low and inside. And Schoenweiss continues to struggle, even though he's behind only 1-0. The pitches are beginning to mount up on him a little bit here. We're only 2 outs into the third. This is number 60 already. Coming up. And Olerud, a ground ball to the first baseman. Gill will race to the bag and win the race himself. So no runs here in the third. A hit and a man left. And at the end of 3, it's still 1-0 Mariners. Well, that's an interesting sign, isn't it? I don't think that's entirely a baseball message at all. Do you? Not at all. 1-0 here. Now, the Aflac trivia question of the night. Since 1969, who are the 3 teams to host the All-Star game and then advance to the World Series in the same season? We'll have the answer in a moment. That's when divisional play started in 69. A strike to David Eckstein on the outside corner as we are in the 4th. They're in the bottom of the 8th in Texas. Texas leading Oakland 10-4. A little blooper. It's going to drop for a base hit. So there's the first base hit of the ball game for the Angels. Eckstein drops one off the handle of the bat into right field. Quickly 2 strikes on Garrett Anderson.
Garrett Anderson putting on another fine display of hitting this year. They've driven in 109 runs. Become just the third Angel to have 100 RBI seasons in consecutive years. In 3 consecutive years. We have Joyner and Bo Vaughn have done it.
Garrett Anderson breaks his bat and pops it up along the third baseline. Fair territory or foul? Fair. Right behind the bag at third. An easy play for Mark McLemore. Philadelphia, how about that? They're a half a game back. They've won the first 3 games of that 4-game series as they beat Atlanta 5-2. And the New York Mets 5 games back in the East as they beat Pittsburgh 9-2. And all of a sudden, the Mets are very much effective.
How about the Phillies? Winning the first 3 games.
That's it.
And, well, that National League, that wild card and what's going on in the National League, that's going to be quite a race over there.
Here's Gloss now. Low and inside. Well, they go to the 9th inning in Texas. And it's 10-4 Rangers as the A's are coming up in the 9th. Two and 0. Jimmy looking for a double play ball here from this big man. Eckstein certainly a threat to go. He's got 20 stolen bases. A little high with the fastball. 3-0 on Troy Gloss. Timmy Salmon next. He walked him on 4 pitches, so Gloss is a second free ticket issued by Jamie Moyer. Moyer a little bit out of whack here in the 4th with his control.
Well, as we pointed out at the very beginning, last time that Moyer was on the mound was 10 days ago. And it pretty much figures that as sharp as Jamie was, that he probably isn't going to be quite as sharp with his command. Probably the same thing for Aaron Seeley.
Eric Chavez has just grounded out in Texas, so there's 1 down in the 9th inning there. Good change, 0-1. F.P. Santangelo is the hitter now for the Oakland A's. That fastball is a bit inside. F.P. Santangelo has just made an out. So we're down to the final out. The Mariners are 1 out away from being Western Division champions, and they don't know it. Maybe they do. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. And that's inside. Ball 2, 2-1. And a fly ball popped up into foul territory and playable. I believe Wilson leans back and makes the catch. Eric Burns is at the plate for the Oakland Athletics down in Texas. 2 away, and Jose Fernandez will be the hitter. The Mariners leading here 1-0. Jose Fernandez, a fly ball to right in the second. And a swing and a miss. 0-1 to count. Eric Burns keeps it alive with a base hit into left field. So the A's aren't done yet in Texas. Trailing, however, 10-4. Oh, 2 here. The count on Jose Fernandez. Ramon Hernandez, the A's catcher, is the hitter down there in Texas. And the pitch swung on and a fly ball hit to center field, and right there is Mike Cameron to make the catch, and that will retire the side here. But down in Texas, we've got our eye on the monitor to find out what is happening down there. Here is Cammy to lead it off in the 4th inning. And Schoenweiss misses very high, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Mariners up here 1-0. They cap 2-0. Ramon Hernandez, a hitter down in Texas. And Ramon Hernandez, with the count 1-2 on aim, hits a high fly ball to right field as Cameron grounds to third. The throw there in time, but the catch is made there, and the Mariners are American League West champions as the Texas Rangers beat the Oakland Athletics 10-4 down in Texas. And there's the congratulations as Lou Piniella and John McLaren.
Well, we said that as soon as that final out was made that it would be notified to everybody down there in the dugout. And now you can see the congratulations very quietly down there in the Mariners dugout. Now they still have to concentrate on this game because this game means a lot to Jamie Moyer. Moyer still is going to have a couple more starts, has a chance to win 20.
Jay Buhner takes a strike at the knees. Little hugs and congratulations for everybody in the dugout. There's a shot, a great stop by Gloss. He straightens up and throws the first and gets Buhner. Good play by Troy Gloss.
I think Junior thought that was going to be a base hit. And after he was thrown out, kind of looks back at Troy Gloss down there at third, saying, "What are you doing? Man, you're taking hits away from him."
Some smiles all around down in that Mariner dugout. As the final from Texas is in, Rangers winning it 10-4. One ball, one strike to count on Dan Wilson. Kind of a buzz going up over this crowd as they know it's over as far as the divisional race is concerned. balls, 2 strikes the count on Dan Wilson. The Mariners very much would like to win 117 games. I don't think there's any doubt about it. They need 12 to 16. Great stop at first base by Gill, and who said he couldn't play first base?
Holy cow, what a play by Benji Gill.
Outstanding play by Gill over at first base in a 1-2-3 fourth inning. So the Western Division champions of 2001 will head out on defense here in the 5th inning. They lead it 1-0 after 4. Everybody standing up, giving the Seattle Mariners a round of applause. And boy, that sight right there in the middle of the picture looks great, doesn't it? As everybody finally, something festive here in what has been a long last 8 days. And the Seattle Mariners being saluted by their fans here. Their 51st sellout of the year. 45,459 here to salute the American League Western Division champion. And Jamie Moyer's got to concentrate now on Benji Molina leading it off here in the 5th. Taking down low, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, Jamie has to continue his concentration. And I think we're going to see the lineup finish the game.
Molina into the gap, but closing it in a hurry is Ichiro. Our Aflac trivia question was, if you will recall, since '69, who were the 3 teams to host the All-Star game and advance to the World Series in the same season? Well, the 70 Reds, the 77 Yankees, and the 97 Indians all hosted the All-Star game those particular years and went to the World Series. Benji Gill, a wild wave and a miss, 0-1. That man's done a heck of a job, hasn't he?
Oh, boy. You know, I was about to say, when you think back in spring training, when the first time to report down there in spring training for the entire squad, that man right there, along with his coaching staff, has been on top of things all during spring training and all year long. And I think you just don't realize the amount of hard work that goes in to running a ball club and getting everybody in the right frame of mind to pull at the same end of the rope. But boy, what a job Lou has done along with his coaching staff, and what a fabulous job the players have done this year.
Dave Myers sitting there, his first year with the ball club, the new Mariners third base coach this year, taking over for Larry Boa. And with a division champion his first year. Wild wave and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Since Lou Piniella took over the Mariners in '93, there's Dave Myers. The Mariners have a .595 winning percentage in September. The Mariners' best month under Piniella. And what a time to get hot during a pennant race. September. 2-2, and they clinch it here in their 146th game of the year. 16 to go, looking for their 106th victory. Truly an unbelievable story. See you later, Benji Gill.
Third strikeout for Jamie Moyer. Well, you think back, Dave, of all the hours of batting practice and pitchers working between starts.
Well, it starts every year about my birthday, Ron.
Well, we planned it that way,
February 19th. I mean, every pitchers and catchers go down.
Well, that's when everybody's supposed to report.
Yeah, that's right, on my birthday. And we look forward to, you know, a good year. Everybody looks forward to a good year. But few have ever had a year like this.
And not many will either.
Nope. 1-2 on Jose Nieves. And Moyer just misses low. Working with the thinnest of margins, that 1-0 lead. There's a shot at all the guys out there. And what a great year that man has had. Carlos Guillen has had, for the most part, a healthy year. And a high fly ball popped up, and Buhner will get his first shot. And Jay is there, and that's in the well, and that's the 5th inning. So we're halfway through this one, and Moyer is spinning another magic web. He has not given up a run. The Mariners lead it 1-0.
And welcome back to Safeco Field. The Mariners lead the Angels by a score of 1-0. Hi again, everybody. Rick Riz along with Dave Valley, and the Mariners are going to the postseason party for the 4th time. They have clinched the American League West. Dave Valley.
Tremendous. You know, what a great culmination of a phenomenal season. I know the players are probably very excited just to get this over with. It's been a foregone conclusion that they were going to win the American League West. Now that it's done, they can start getting their mind and their sights set on winning the American League Championship.
There's a look at Aaron Seeley, a big part of the success of the Mariners this year. Mark McLemore leading off the bottom half of the 5th inning, fouls away a pitch, and the count goes to 0-2 on Mark. The Mariners' magic number going into tonight's ball game was 1. So if Oakland lost tonight, which they did, the Mariners clinched the West. Low, ball 1, 1 ball and 2 strikes on McLemore. And there's a look at Freddie Garcia. The Chief was absolutely brilliant last night. A 3-hit shutout for Freddie Garcia. Blanking the Angels 4-0. Fly ball, right field, and fairly deep. Going back, Tim Salmon to make the catch out of the warning track. 1 away for the Mariners here in the 5th. It has been such an incredible team effort. Wonderful chemistry that got underway at spring training. And day after day, game after game, this ball club just kept grinding out win after win. They are 105-40, and they have clinched the American League West tonight, with Oakland losing down in Texas to the Rangers 10-4. So congratulations to the Seattle Mariners. And here's a big reason why the Mariners have clinched so early. Ichiro is 0 for 2 tonight. Chopper over the mound, going to be a tough play. Eckstein, the throw to first, and it's low. Benji Gill cannot dig it out of the dirt, and Ichiro is safe at first base. But that's what he makes you do. He makes you hurry, and he forces you into a mistake.
And we've seen that so often this season. The fielders know that they've got to get rid of that ball, and most of the time they're going to end up rushing and not making quality plays. Right here, Eckstein having to come across, and he throws that ball in the dirt. Benji Gill, who is normally a shortstop, over there playing first base. We've seen Benji Gill make some great plays over there, but couldn't come up with that play.
They have ruled it an error on the throw by the shortstop, David Eckstein. So an error on the throw, 1 on, 1 away. Mariners lead 1-0. Here's shortstop Carlos Guillen. Ball 1.
Rick, now that the Mariners have clinched the American League West, you can go right down the list to each guy, the impact that each guy has had on this ball club winning. So far, 105 ball games to clinch the American League West. Carlos Guillen stepping in this year on a full-time basis at shortstop.
Outside and off the glove of the catcher, Ben Molina, and down to second goes Ichiro on a pass ball. The pitch wasn't that bad from Scott Schoenweiss. So that takes away the double play chance. Runner on at second with 1 away. The count is 2-0 on Guillen. And Val, you are absolutely right. Everybody has brought something to the party this year. Everyone on this ball club.
You look at Ichiro and you talk about Brett Boone. Whenever you mention the word MVP, those two guys have to be at the top of the list, maybe the only two guys on the list. When you talk about a team that is on track to break the Major League record, they are the best team in baseball in the year of 2001. And you got two guys having career years. Ichiro probably going to be the Rookie of the Year, this guy right here. Boy, what a year
Great
he
shot.
is having. You talk about the historical numbers that Brett Boone is putting up as a second baseman.
Ground ball wide of Gill at first base into right field. Ichiro to third. Salmon fires to the plate on one hop. A base hit to right by Carlos Guillen, and the Mariners have runners at first and third with one out here in the fifth. Say Friends Sunday, the NFL on Fox begins with JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris on America's favorite pregame show. Then Jesse Armstead and the Giants battle Tony Gonzalez and the Chiefs. Where Marshall Faulk leads the high-octane Rams offense against Jeff Garcia and the 49ers in an NFC West showdown. For other regional action, coverage begins at 7:30 Sunday morning on Fox Sports Net. One out, two aboard for the Mariners, who lead the Angels 1-0. And here's second baseman Brett Boone having an MVP year. Along with Ichiro. Swing and a miss, and the count is 0-1. Take a look at the records that Boone has broken this year for an American League second base. More home runs than any second baseman in history in the American League. He has 35, 34 as a second baseman, one as a pinch hitter. More runs batted in than any second baseman in American League history. The home run record was set in 1948 by Joe Gordon of the Cleveland Indians when he had 32. The RBI record was established back in 1934 by Tiger second baseman and Hall of Famer Charlie Gehringer. And Boone has topped those two marks.
And Boone is not only coming to the table with those numbers, the things that he adds, the intangibles, his presence in the clubhouse, his very unique sense of humor that has really been a bonding force in that locker room. I mean, this guy has just been such an incredible impact. He has had such an impact when you talk about chemistry. They love this guy. I mean, he's funny. He's wacky, but he backs it up.
Loose, yeah, and he gets it done on the field. Runner at first takes off. Guillen, a swing and a foul back by Boone, and the count goes to 3-2.
You know, I was talking to some of the writers before the game today, and they were talking about, well, you know, the Mariners are leading the American League in fielding. So are there any Gold Glove candidates out there? I think Brett Boone should be right there. I know Robbie Alomar, they're talking about Robbie, the perennial Gold Glove at second base, but we're watching him every day, and I tell you what, if anybody deserves a Gold Glove,
he does.
It's Brett Boone.
So does David Bell over at third base, having an incredible year defensively. Chopper toward short. Eckstein over to second. In time, the relay to first is not, and the Mariners get a run. Ichiro scores from third on the great hustle by Brett Boone. Safe at first on a fielder's choice. Ichiro will score, and the Mariners have a 2-0 lead. And it's hustle like that has won it in the West for the Mariners this year.
Eckstein gets a funny grip on that ball. As you see Carlos Guillen coming across the bag. Brett Boone, he shows up every night with this great hustle. Boone running all the way through the bag, and it's because of that hustle the Mariners push another run across the board.
Brett Boone with his 129th run batted in. Edgar Martinez takes a look at ball one. 25 great guys who just know how to play. From the first pitch to the last, and now the rosters have expanded since September the 1st. Strike on the outside corner, 1-1.
And it was great to see the Mariners have such a great representation on the American League All-Star game this year. All of them well deserving. You know, we didn't even mention Mike Cameron for Gold Glove out in center field. John Olerud over at first base.
Ball two balls and a strike on Edgar. And when you take a look at this ball club, the one constant, the one steadying influence on this ball club is this guy right here, number 11, wearing that All-Star game patch, Edgar Martinez. He is the center of the Mariners universe. Inside that dugout and inside the clubhouse. That guy right there.
Edgar just commands such a great deal of respect from all of his teammates. I think his work ethic, his routine has really rubbed off on a lot of the younger players.
Runner goes, swinging a drive deep to left field. Going and going. Goodbye, baseball. Edgar Martinez with a 2-run blast to left field. His 22nd home run of the season. It's the Mariners 4 and the Angels nothing. That silver bullet blast was the 22nd of the year for Edgar Martinez and was brought to you by Coors Light.
Well, Rick, isn't it fitting that it's Edgar Martinez who comes up with a home run on the night that the Mariners clinch the American League West? Nobody has a more beautiful swing than Edgar Martinez as he pulls his hands in and gets a low fastball from Scott Schoenweiss and hits it off the staircase in the back of the Anaheim Angels bullpen. That ball was crunched.
Way back, Val, to left field. A home run by Edgar. So 3 runs are in here in the bottom of the 5th inning to take a 4-0 lead. John Olerud fouls one away. And the count is even on John at 1 ball and 1 strike. John is 0 for 2 tonight. The Mariners have clinched the West, with Oakland losing tonight down in Texas 10-4. At the knees for strike 1 and 2 on John. So this incredible, remarkable journey through the American League just continues to get better and better. Fly ball left field. Garen Anderson back in time. He's there to make the catch for out number 3. But the Mariners get 3 runs here in the bottom of the 3rd, 2 on this sweet swing of Edgar Martinez as he connects for his 22nd home run of the year. And after 5 innings of play, it's the Mariners 4 and the Angels nothing. Goodbye, baseball.
Seattle Mariners baseball is brought to you by Henry Weinhardt's Beer Means More Here. By Car Toys. Shopping for car stereos and wireless phones is easy when you go to Car Toys. Call 1-888-CAR TOYS. By Money Tree, your cash solution. And by Les Schwab, our business is earning your trust. The best team in baseball has clinched the West. The Seattle Mariners lead the Angels 4-0 as we go to the top half of the 6th inning. Jamie Moyer did not give up a run in his last start. Went 7 shutout innings. Mariners beat Baltimore 6-0 to pick up his 17th win of the year. Breaking ball misses to Darren Erstad, ball 1. Jamie a chance to win 20 this year. What a change up, and the count is even on Erstad at 1 ball and 1 strike. The last time Jamie Moyer lost a ball game was on July the 13th when he lost to the San Francisco Giants 5-3 right after the All-Star break.
Jamie during the second half of the season is 8-1. He has just been on an incredible roll.
Oh, man. He was 2-1 against the Angels this year in 3 starts. Just a bit outside, ball 2, 2-1 the count.
But you talk about a roll. I mean, the entire, you almost have to laugh. The entire starting pitching staff for the Seattle Mariner Ball Club has just been phenomenal. You go right on down the list. Aaron Seeley, as Darren Erstad rips a single into right field. Aaron Seeley, Paul Abbott,
Quality innings.
Freddie Garcia last night, Jamie Moyer.
Joel Pinheiro helping out in that 5th spot of the rotation. John Halama in the rotation down to the bullpen. The best bullpen in baseball. How about these numbers for Jamie Moyer?
I think Jamie's getting ready. I think he's getting ready for some postseason action right there. Just getting better and better as he is coming to the close of the season. 0.47 in September.
1 earned run in 19 innings in the month of September. David Eckstein takes the first pitch. Ball 1 the count. Mariners lead 4-0. David Eckstein is 1 for 2 with a single. Jamie Moyer in his last 11 starts is 9-0. Fly ball into right field. Ichiro on the run near the line, makes the catch. 1 out for the Angels here in the 6th.
He has the 5th best ERA in the American League at 3.35. One of the best trades in Mariner history involved this guy right here. The Mariners acquired Jamie Moyer from the Boston Red Sox for outfielder Darren Bragg, July 30th, 1996. And since then, he has won 82 games and lost only 39. And the 82 wins represents the 2nd highest win total in Mariners history. Randy Johnson is number 1 on that list with 130. Here's Garrett Anderson, 1 on and 1 away.
Jamie trails only Pedro Martinez. Martinez with 97 and 38 for a .713 winning percentage, and then it's Jamie Moyer. Just gives you an idea of what this guy has accomplished.
The ERA leaders in the American League brought to you by Les Schwab Tires. There's Freddie Garcia, followed by Tim Hudson and Mike Mussina. Freddie, the only starter with an ERA of under 3. 1-1 the count on Garrett Anderson. There's the Chief, Freddie Garcia. Freddie Garcia in his last 4 starts, to show you how well he has pitched, has gone 3-0 with a 0.29 ERA in his last 4 starts. That's unheard of. Line drive, fair ball down the right field line. A base hit for Garrett Anderson, held to a single. Ichiro up with the ball, fires it in to Brett Boone, and around to third goes Darren Erstad. That ball was just fair down the right field side, and the Angels have 2 on with 1 away here in the 6th.
This ball just gets ripped right inside. John Olerud just barely ticks that ball right off the end of his glove. Ichiro does a good job of keeping Garrett Anderson at first base, keeping that double play in order.
That throw right on line had a lot on it from Ichiro to the cutoff man, second baseman Brett Boone. Anderson at first, Erstad on at third base, 1 away for Troy Gloss. Gloss 0 for 1, is flied out to right, and he has walked, and Jamie Moyer says, I can get you hit a ground ball with that changeup. Let's see if he can, but he sends one out of play in the air, foul on the first base side, 0-1. Jamie utilizes that circle changeup to the right-handed hitters and gets them out in front. And if Gloss tops one to the shortstop, Carlos Guillen, a chance to get Jamie out of the inning. The American flag shown on the caps of the Mariner players and all the players in baseball. Back to first, Garrett Anderson. Baseball back over the last 2 nights. The road to recovery for this great nation as you take a look at Jose Paniagua warming up down in the bullpen. One and one the count to Gloss.
Jamie Moyer has just over 70 pitches here in the top of the 6th inning. He's been able to get those Angels hitters to put the ball in play early in the count. Right here with Troy Gloss, he knows he's got to be careful. Gloss is a very dangerous power hitter.
38 home runs, 5th in the league. Up and in, ball 2, 2-1 the count. Jamie Moyer, his 30th start of the year.
These are the type of counts that Jamie Moyer will not give in. He'll go to that changeup. He has so much confidence in it.
Another move to first base to get Anderson back. Mariners have been so consistent all season long. Ball 3, 3-1 the count. With such a huge lead in the American League West, really from the first month of the season, Val, when they started off the year 20-5 with a major league record for wins in April. They tacked on 20 more wins in the month of May, added 20 more wins in the month of August. 18 in June and July. Line drive, caught it, third by McLemore, leaps up in the air, makes an outstanding catch, 2 away. What a play by Mark McLemore, who's been absolutely stellar at every position he has played this year.
Well, we talked about how each player has made an impact on this ball club. Mark McLemore tonight getting the start at third base. Mac, no matter where you put him, he gets the job done. Shortstop, outfield, left field, third base. Mark McLemore has been such an important part of this American League West Championship ball club.
Quick as a cat, and after he made that catch, Val took a look around to check the base runners. Anderson at first, Erstad at third. So 2 on, 2 away for right fielder Tim Salmon. A little outside with a change. Ball 1. Salmon 0 for 1 has walked. He's also popped up to the catcher Dan Wilson. One of the reasons why the Mariners have played so well defensively is the fact that the Mariner pitchers throw strikes. They get these guys to swing the bat. There's a foul out of play on the first base side, and the count is 1-1. Mariner pitchers don't let their defense get back on their heels, Val. They're always ready to make a good play.
Well, it becomes a situation where they kind of feed off of each other. The pitchers know, if I allow the hitters to put the ball in play, the guys behind me are going to make the play. So now they are so much more confident in making their pitches, throwing them to the corners. Brian Price has done such a phenomenal job with some of the younger pitchers. Freddie Garcia, we're seeing Freddie mature into one of the top pitchers in the game of baseball. Jamie Moyer, Jamie's a great influence on all of the pitchers. You'll see those guys talking in between games, talking about strategy as they're charting their pitches for their next start. These guys all feed off of each other.
This guy, one of the smartest guys on the mound. Studies hitters. Strike called, and the count is even on Salmon at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jamie Moyer can take a look in his book and tell you exactly how he got Tim Salmon out the last time he faced him prior to tonight's ball game. 2-2 on Salmon. A sellout crowd here at Safeco Field. First stand on at third. Garrett Anderson at first base. Low, ball 3, full count 3-2, and now Anderson will take off at first base with the count full and 2 outs.
I'm looking for Jamie to come back with another changeup here, full count. Got young Jose Fernandez in the on deck spot.
Three-2. Up and in, ball 4. So Tim Salmon with a walk, and the Angels have the bases loaded with 2 down. We'll bring up designated hitter Jose Fernandez, called up recently from AAA Salt Lake City, and time is called, and pitching coach Brian Price heads out to the mound. Say Friends, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Seattle Mariners. 4-0 Mariners lead. The Angels have the bases loaded here in the 6th inning with 2 outs. As we take a look at Jose Paniagua getting ready down to the bullpen. Mariners have clinched the West, with Oakland losing tonight down in Texas 10-4 to the Rangers. Mariners' magic number was 1 coming into the ball game, and Oakland lost tonight at the hands of the Rangers. So the Mariners are going to the postseason party for the 4th time in their history. American League West Championship banners up there. Another odd season in which the Mariners clinched the West in '95 and again in '97 and again in 2001. The wild card banner up there last year. And the guy that has put it all together is that guy right there, Lou Piniella.
Outstanding job by Lou Piniella managing this ball club. Putting all the guys in the right places to succeed at the right time. Jose Fernandez, a swing and a miss and a change, and the count is 0-2 on the Angels DH.
Well, as Jamie Moyer goes softer and softer, Jose Fernandez, it looks like he's swinging harder and harder.
That's good news for Jamie Moyer.
Jamie's just going to try to take advantage of some of the holes that he might see in Fernandez's swing or in his approach at the plate.
The 0-2 fouled away off the screen behind home plate. Fernandez 0 for 2 has flied out to Ichiro in right field. He's also flied out to Mike Cameron in center. Erstad a single, Anderson a single, Tim Salmon a walk, 2 down. Sammy wants a new baseball and gets one from home plate umpire Tim Timmons. September the 19th, and the Mariners have clinched the American League West Division title. Last year, they got to the playoffs on the final day of the regular season, grabbing the wild card berth with a win against the Angels down in Anaheim in game number 162. Fouled away by Fernandez, and the count is still 0-2. And now here it is, game number 146, and the Mariners have clinched the West.
Dan Wilson going out to confer with Jamie Moyer. My guess is that Danny's saying, okay, we've thrown him 3 changeups in a row. That last swing, he was right on top of it. Why don't we try running something in, throw that cutter in on the inside part of the plate, and if you miss, then you can come back with that changeup again.
Well, Dan and Jamie talk things over.
You can see Jamie saying either way, Jamie will use that cutter on the inside part of the plate, or he'll throw it on the outside corner to sneak back over for a strike. We'll see which one he chooses to go with here. Way ahead in the count.
Nice when you have options, isn't it? And you can do it. Again, the 0-2. Inside, ball 1, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bases are loaded. Darren Erstad at third. Garrett Anderson at second. Tim Salmon over at first. 2 outs. Tying one at the plate in Fernandez. In the dirt. Look at that. Dan Wilson with a great block. That ball wasn't going anywhere, Val.
Well, we talked about the confidence that the defense can give the pitcher right there. Danny Wilson. The pitchers know that if they want to throw a ball out of the strike zone in the dirt on purpose, that Dan Wilson's going to be able to keep that ball in front of him. When you talk about the success of the pitching staff, of the bullpen, you've got to give some of that credit to the guys behind the plate. Danny Wilson and Tommy Lankin have done such a phenomenal job for this championship ball club.
Dan Wilson going through the signs with touches for Jamie. Inside with a fastball, ball 3, and the count is full on Fernandez. 3-2 with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Jamie had the count his way at 0-2, and Fernandez works it full. Swing and a miss and a change. Strike 3. Jamie Moyer strikes out Jose Fernandez. And the Angels leave the bases loaded.
Another great changeup, 3-2. That confidence comes out. Jamie knows he's got a young hitter up there wanting to drive those runs in, and he gets Jose Fernandez to chase.
We go to the bottom of the 6th. Mariners lead the Angels 4-0. Seattle Mariners baseball is brought to you by Napa. Napa Auto Parts. Get it done right the first time. Go see the Napa pros today. By Geico Direct, the sensible alternative. And by Pizza Hut. Call Pizza Hut and buy a big New Yorker for only $9.99 and get a free order of breadsticks. Sellout crowd watching the American League West champion Seattle Mariners lead Anaheim by a score of 4-0 as we go to the bottom half of inning number 6.
Hey, Mariner fans, want to win one of the first Seattle Mariners collector's editions of the Monopoly game? Log on to www.foxsports.com and enter the keyword Monopoly. If your Mariners trivia question stumps our sports guys, you'll win the all-new Monopoly game where every part is customized for the Mariners. And here's a look at the playing board for the Mariners Monopoly game. There's Kazuhiro Sasaki. Different values for all the players and safe goal field. What a great game right here. You played Monopoly as a kid. Well, now you've got the Mariners version of Monopoly as we go to the bottom half of the sixth.
Well, I want that little catcher's mask. That was very cool. But you know what? My daughter Alina kills me in Monopoly all the time.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm going to bring home another game just so she can beat me.
That doesn't surprise me, pal. Here's Mike Cameron. 0-2 the count on Cameron.
She does. She really does.
I believe you. She's sharp. How you doing, Alina? Mike Cameron leading things off, bottom of the sixth. Ground ball down the third base line. Fair behind the bag. Lost. Long throw to first. Pulls Gill off the bag. Mike Cameron with an infield single. Lou Pote, the new pitcher for the Angels, into the ball game to work the bottom half of the sixth. Gives up the infield base hit to Mike Cameron.
Pote's been one of the shining spots down in the bullpen for Mike Scioscia. Pote with a 2-0 record. He's appeared in 77 in the third innings and has struck out 56. This young man is a guy that they've got plans for, building their bullpen around.
Runner goes. Cameron is safe at second base. Stolen base number 32 on the year from Mike Cameron. The throw by Molina not in time.
But one of the mandates that Lou Piniella gave Mike Cameron in spring training was, I want you to be more aggressive on the bases. You're going to have the green light. Mike Cameron coming into the ball game tonight, that was his 32nd steal. He's only been caught 4 times. Tremendous percentage.
What an overall outstanding year for Mike Cameron. 32 stolen bases.
And I think what we're watching is a star being born. This year, Mike was voted to the American League All-Star team, and he is just getting better and better in every facet of his game.
Jay Buhner looks at a breaking ball in the dirt for ball 1. 1-1 the count on Jay. Jay is 0 for 2 tonight. Robbed of a base hit by third baseman Troy Gloss his last time up in the 4th inning. Gloss diving to his left to take a hit away from Bone. Good to see this guy back. Number 19 back in uniform. Backs away from a pitch from Pote for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike.
You know, I was just looking, Rick, at the roster for this American League West champions, and there's a few constants that have been here. This guy right here, yeah. Jay Buhner, was here in 95, in 97. And again here in the year 2000.
Ball, base hit past the first baseman Gil. Cameron rounding third. He will score easily. Jay Buhner with his 2nd RBI of the year drives home Mike Cameron from second base. And the Mariners now lead the Angels 5-0.
Well, Jay's had some good swings here this evening. Starting off with a line drive to center field. He got robbed on a ball to the left side, and this time takes a pitch down the right field line, puts a beautiful swing on it, stays inside the ball, and drives it past the diving Benji Gill. Jay Buhner, one of the veterans of this Seattle Mariner organization, along with Dan Wilson and Edgar Martinez and Lou Piniella, guys that have been here for every successful season that this organization has had. Great to see Jay getting an RBI here this evening on a very special night for the Seattle Mariner organization.
Jay Buhner, a long road back, coming back from that torn arch that he suffered at the end of February. Charles Gibson, a pinch runner for Bone, so Gibson on at first base. You gotta love that guy. Dan Wilson, the hitter. Fouls one away, and the count goes to 0-2 on Dan. Dan is 0 for 2 tonight. And I'm sure Jay Buhner and the club will get together when this season is over and talk about the possibility of next year.
Dan Wilson has been running this ball club from the field.
Ground ball, Eckstein over to Nieves. The relay to first is in time for the double play. So 2 outs for the Mariners here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Say, friends, this week on College Football Saturday, presented by Kyocera, it's a Pac-10 showdown as Pete Carroll, Carson Palmer, and the USC Trojans take on Heisman hopeful Joey Harrington and the 7th-ranked Oregon Ducks. It all begins Saturday night at 7 Pacific right here on Fox Sports Net. There's a little Mariner fan right there enjoying the ball game. Mariners lead 5-0. Here's Mark McLemore. Making ball a little bit low, ball 1. Hack 1 for 2 with an RBI double in the second that scored Mike Cameron. On the outside corner, 1-1. Two outs, nobody out. Fly ball into right field. Tim Salmon is there to make the catch for out number 3, but the Mariners tack on one more with the RBI single to right off the bat of Jay Buhner. After 6 innings of play, it's the Mariners 5 and the Angels nothing. Catcher Ben Molina leading off the top half of the 7th inning. A swing and a miss. The first pitch missed for ball 1 from Jose Paniagua, so the count is even on Molina. 1 ball and 1 strike. Top of the 7th inning, Mariners lead the Angels by a score of 5-0. We've got a new pitcher out there, and Jose Paniagua replacing Jamie Moyer.
Lou Piniella, prior to the ball game, was talking about trying to get his bullpen in the ball games. So if you're wondering why Jamie Moyer was removed during a shutout, this is one of the reasons. He wants to get those guys back out there in some type of rhythm and routine. Jose having a tremendous year. 38 strikeouts in 59 innings. One of the guys that Lou wants to keep sharp as the playoffs approach.
Molina 0 for 2 on the night. He's lined out to short, also flied out to Ichiro and right. Up and away, ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And you know, Rick, that is a tough job for Lou and Brian Price, because when you have your starters throwing so well last night, Freddie Garcia, how can you take him out?
It's tough to
just
find
to get
more.
I mean,
Some
he's
guys
walking right through the lineup. He's just in total command of the ball game.
Fly ball, shallow center. Cameron on the run to make the catch. 1 out for the Angels here in the 7th inning. Say, friends, time now for the Pennzoil protection play, brought to you by Pennzoil. And how about Jamie Moyer tonight, going 6 scoreless innings.
We talk about those starting pitchers doing a tremendous job. Jamie Moyer using that changeup so effectively, getting the Angel hitters just swinging through changeup after changeup. There it is again. Jamie throwing a little Bugs Bunny changeup, tough to lay off, tough not to swing at it.
That last one was the big one, striking out Jose Fernandez with the bases loaded in the 6th inning to retire the side. Benji Gill fouls away a pitch, 0-1 the count on the Angels' first baseman. Second-year manager Mike Scioscia for the Angels has used a number of players over at first base, with the loss, even before the season got underway, to slugging first baseman Mo Vaughn. Had the torn bicep tendon. 0-2 the count on Gill. And for Mike Scioscia, or any manager, that is a tough way to begin the year.
Losing one of the top run producers in the American League, Scioscia's done a fine job. Done such a good job. The Angel management saw fit to extend his contract.
In the air and out of play, and the count is still 0-2 on Gill.
Besides, he's a catcher. He deserves it, don't you think?
Number of former catchers.
He was a good
manager
one,
now in the big leagues. Yeah, he was for a long time with the Dodgers, and then at the end of his career played for a few other ball clubs. Mike Scioscia, the ex-Dodger, still in Southern California, now is the skipper of the Angels. Up and in, ball 1, 1 ball and 2 strikes. I could see you as a manager, Val.
You never know.
I feel sorry for the coach sitting next to you if there's a foul ball coming at him.
Will you let it go, Rick?
No.
You need to let it go.
Chopper over the mound, charging the shortstop Carlos Guillen. The throw not in time. And pulling up hurt beyond the bag at first base is Benji Gill, who's safe with an infield single, but Gill is hurt.
Benji Gill's got good speed. He hits his chopper over the mound. What a tremendous play by Carlos Guillen. Watch him pick this ball on the little short hop and all in one motion, transfer it to his throwing hand, and gets off a good throw. Looks like Benji Gill may have popped something in calf or ankle.
Looks like they're looking.
He hit that base
right
very
leg.
very hard as he came to a stop. I don't know if he jammed his knee possibly. Get a good look at it right here. Looked like something gave way though as he was trying to pull up. Benji Gill, who has not been playing a lot. Sometimes when your body's not in that everyday routine, you get out there and you have a tough play like that and you're extending yourself. Body just doesn't know how to react to it.
Benji Gill is going to have to come out of this ball game. We'll have a pinch runner for Gill. That's Adam Kennedy. So Kennedy will take over as the pinch runner. 1 on, 1 away. Benji Gill with that last lunge to the bag either jammed his ankle or his knee. Taken off the field. Bring up second baseman Jose Nieves.
Second baseman Jose Nieves.
Nieves is 0 for 2. Mariners lead 5-0. Here in game 2 of this 3-game series. Don't forget tomorrow an afternoon ball game, 3:35. And it's down to play the Oakland Athletics on Friday night. Here's a look at the starters for tomorrow's game, Val.
Aaron Seeley, another one of the great starters on this incredible staff. Aaron 13-5 with a 3.71 ERA. Will be going against Jared Washburn.
Our matchups brought to you by AT&T Broadband. Ground ball back up the middle into center field. A base hit for Nieves, and down to second goes pinch runner Adam Kennedy. So 2 on for the Angels here in the 7th with 1 out. Here comes Lou Piniella out of the dugout. He's got the left-hander Arthur Rhodes warming up down to the bullpen. So that's going to be it for Jose Paniagua. Lou going down to the bullpen one more time. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Quest. Quest, ride the light. Mariners lead the Angels 5-0. 1 out here in the 7th with 2 aboard, and we'll be back right after this timeout. Mariners baseball is brought to you by Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse. Lowe's improving home improvement. By CTI, making cancer more treatable. And by your Northwest Chevy dealers, who invite you to test drive the 2001 Chevy cars and trucks. Mariners lead the Angels 5-0. Top of the 7th inning. The Angels have runners at first and second with 1 out. The new pitcher, left-hander Arthur Lee Rhodes.
Arthur Rhodes has retired 84 of his last 94 batters faced. Arthur, one of the great years down in that Mariner bullpen, has been scored on in just 7 of 65 games. His ERA is 1.47, and opponents are hitting only 175 off this very, very tough left-hander. See his strikeouts, 78 strikeouts in 61 innings.
Only the 12 walks. Here's a left-handed bat up there, Darren Erstad. Tough man to double up. Ball 1. Well, the Rangers over the Oakland A's tonight, so the Mariners have clinched the American League West. They're going to postseason play for the 4th time in their history. Fly ball into straightaway center field. Mike Cameron is there, and he's got it. 2 outs. Say, friends, for all the latest information on the Mariners, be sure to log on to SeattleMariners.com. It's the best place to pick up scores, stats, news, and all the latest happenings with the team. SeattleMariners.com. Connect with it. And one of the big scores tonight in baseball, the Rangers over the Oakland A's 10-4. The Mariners' magic number is down to 0. The Mariners have clinched the American League West for the 3rd time in their history. Mariners clinched the wild card berth last year. They won the West in '95 against the Angels. And that 1-game playoff for the first time getting to the playoffs in their history. Randy Johnson against Mark Langston in the 1-game playoff. David Eckstein takes a strike at the knees, 0-1. And who had the big base hit in that ball game with the bases loaded? Luis Sojo.
How'd that call go?
There's a swing and a ground the ball and sneaks on by Snow at first base down the right field line into the corner. Here comes Blowers. Here comes Tino. Here comes Joey. The throw home is cut off by Langston. The relay home gets on by Allenson. Cora scores. Soho scores. Everybody scores.
An exciting day for Mariner history as you new left fielder Charles Gibson.
Two on, 2 outs. David Eckstein is 1 for 3. Fly ball into center field. Mike Cameron is there to make the catch for out number 3. Fine job by Rhodes in relief. 2 left on for the Halos. We go to the bottom half of inning number 7. Mariners 5 and the Angels nothing. Ichiro will lead off the bottom half of inning number 7. Oh man, that song gets me.
I hope they play that the rest of the year.
Oh, I love it. How about this guy, Ichiro? Safe on an air, scored a run in the 5th. Now Levine in the ball game to pitch the bottom of the 7th inning. Levine takes over in relief. Ichiro, a chopper high in the air, foul on the first base side. The count is 2-1 and Ichiro. Adam Kennedy takes over at second base. Popped up outside of third, over to take a look. Troy Gloss, but it's out of play, and the count is even at 2-2. Jose Nieves moves from second base to play first base, with Benji Gill coming out of the ball game with the injury to his right leg, beating out an infield base hit at the top half of the inning. Ichiro takes ball 3, full count 3-2.
And Rick, where would the Mariners be without this guy?
Oh.
The addition of Ichiro to top this batting order. He's just been the igniter, the catalyst.
Look at that drive, straight away center field. This one is off the base of the wall. And it bounces up into the crowd. It takes that short hop off the wall and then bounces into the bleachers in center field. Otherwise, Ichiro is on at third. It's a ground rule double for Ichiro. Base hit number 221 on the year for Ichiro.
Unbelievable concentration, hand-eye coordination. Ichiro just putting such a beautiful level swing on this pitch, driving it deep to right center field. Just a shame that that ball bounces out, because you just love to watch this guy run the bases.
Just a matter of time before Ichiro has an inside the park home run with his speed and the way he can drive the ball into the gaps. Ichiro with 221 hits. The Major League rookie record is 233. You got to go back to 1911. Shoeless Joe Jackson with that rookie record for hits in a single season. Here's Carlos Guillen. The Major League record for hits in a season, George Sisler had 257 base hits for the old St. Louis Browns back in 1920. Deanne pops one up into straightaway center field. Darren Erstad is there. He's got it. One out for the Mariners with one man aboard here in the seventh. Brings up second baseman Brett Boone. Mariners during the offseason picking up Brett Boone, Jeff Nelson, and Ichiro. Three key components to the success of this ball club. And how about 2 years ago, adding in Aaron Seeley to the starting rotation, Arthur Rhodes to the bullpen, John Olerud at first base, a McLemore and a Javier. And the foundation was set 2 years ago. There's Jeff Nelson warming up down to the bullpen. Actually 3 years ago when the Mariners made the Randy Johnson trade to Houston to pick up a Freddie Garcia, a John Alamo, and a Carlos Guillen. Incredible moves by this organization in the front office the last 3 years to put together one of the greatest teams in baseball history.
All the right pieces to the puzzle. You know, it's not always just a matter of simply picking a talented player, but a player that's going to fit in with the ball club. And Ichiro, who has come over from Japan, from playing in the Japanese professional leagues, has fit in so marvelously well. Gets along with the guys.
Everybody, was just everyone. I mean, he's learning Spanish from Jose Paniagua and from Lou Piniella, from Edgar.
And hopefully it's all the good words.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Well, you know, Ichiro brings little rice balls for Brett Boone. So you're going, okay, Ichiro's got 221 hits. Boone's got 35 bombs. What's in those rice balls? I want some.
A lot of base hits, a lot of hits, and a lot of runs, and a lot of wins. Outside on Boone. Ball three, full count, 3-2. Just can't say enough about this guy right here, what he's meant to this ball club. And folks, we still have a lot of baseball left to go. Mariners have climbed the first hurdle, clinching the West tonight, with Oakland losing this evening down in Texas. And the thing that has driven this ball club, Val, has been a sense of history, because the Mariners got off to such a big start early in the season and maintained that huge lead over the Oakland A's. These guys know that they have a chance to do something really sensational. Ground ball to third, glosses there, toss across to get Brett Boone, and that is out number 2. That has motivated this ball. They haven't lost 3 games in a row all season long. The last team to do that, the 1902 Pittsburgh Pirates. They haven't lost a road series all season long. A road series. Last team to do that, the 1906 and the 1907 Chicago Cubs. They chased the Cubs record of 116 wins that they established back in 1906.
Just incredible consistency. And then when you talk about consistency, this man right here, every year, year in and year out, the numbers that he has thrown up on the board. That one constant, that one impact player who has been here every year that the Mariners have reached the postseason has been Edgar Martinez. Edgar again having another fantastic season.
Ground ball to short, Eckstein with the play, and that will retire the side. No runs, a base hit by Ichiro, a double, and a man left on. We go to the top of the 8th inning. Mariners lead the Angels 5-0. 5-0. Mariners lead the Angels as we go to the top half of the 8th inning. A pitching change. Jeff Nelson will take over, and this pitching change brought to you by Jiffy Lube. If it's been over 3,000 miles since your last oil change, go to Jiffy Lube.
How about the job this guy has done coming in the bullpen this season? Really just solidifying that bullpen for Lou Piniella. Nelly's appeared in 61 games with a 2.79 ERA. Opponents are hitting only 132. Talk about one of the top setup men in the game of baseball. From the right side, you've got Jeff Nelson, and we saw the guy from the left side, Arthur Rhodes, already. Nelly with 78 strikeouts and 58 innings.
So many games are won for you in the 7th and the 8th, and it's a guy like Jeff Nelson that gets the job done as the setup guy. Turn the reins of the ball game over to Kazuhiro Sasaki. Top of the 8th inning. Garrett Anderson will lead things off for the Angels, followed by Troy Gloss and then Tim Salmon.
You know, Jamie Moyer and the offense have allowed Lou Piniella to go with the game plan that he wanted to prior to the ball game, and that was to get his bullpen involved in the ball game.
Get these guys some work after the week layoff, after the horrible tragedy in New York and Washington, plane crash in Pennsylvania. This nation coming back. Slider for a strike on Anderson, 0-1. And baseball will help this nation come back.
First step in the process. I think of the great oration of James Earl Jones in the movie Field of Dreams about how baseball has been the constant.
0-2 on Anderson. The fabric, so much a fabric of this community and throughout the country, always has been. Something to rally around.
And because people love watching it. And you love talking about it, Rico.
I love this game. So do you, though. Out of play, and the count is still 0-2 on Garrett Anderson. This game it means so much to so many people in so many different ways. Brings an entire city, an entire region, an entire state together. Kazuhiro Sasaki down to the bullpen. Up and in for ball one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Up and away, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll never forget the magic that this guy was a part of back in '95 when the Mariners got to the playoffs for the first time by beating the Angels in that 1-game playoff and beating the Yankees in the American League Division Series, one of the most exciting postseason series over the last 20-25 years. What a feeling. Broken bat, ground ball, foul up the third base side, and the count is still even on Anderson at 2-2. Every night a different hero. Same thing this year. The shattered remains of Garrett Anderson's bat.
And Jeff Nelson, I believe Jeff has been in postseason play every year since 1995.
And something. Some guys just get a chance to get there so many times, and some guys play their entire career, like Ernie Banks, Hall of Famer with the Chicago Cubs, never had a chance to play in the World Series. Out of play on the left field side, and the count is still even on Anderson at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jeff Nelson played a big role in that comeback over the Yankees after the Yankees won the first 2 games of the division series in New York. Mariners came back and won game 3, and then in game 4 Jeff Nelson pitched 4 scoreless innings. That's when Edgar Martinez hit the grand slam home run to straightaway center field, and the Mariners won game 4 to even up that series at 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, 1 out for the Angels here in the 8th. Say, friends, want more of the same great attitude you get from Fox Sports? Then log on to the new foxsports.com. Get local information on your favorite team as well as the best fantasy football team on the web. Log on now to foxsports.com. One away. That'll bring up third baseman Troy Gloss. 0-1. Ball 1, 1 ball and 1 strike.
outside, ball two. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Stay tuned after the ball games, interviews, reaction from the players, manager Lou Piniella, the coaches on clinching the American League West title tonight. Fouled away down the right field side. Just beyond the reach of the Mariner ball girl. And the count is even on Troy Gloss at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Take you inside. A reaction from the players after the ball game tonight.
Swing and a miss at a fastball, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jeff Nelson here in the top half of the 8th inning. 2 down. Say, friends, coming up after the game on the Northwest Sports Report, a complete post-game wrap-up. Visits with the players about clinching the American League West. Live from Safeco Field, down inside the Mariners clubhouse. All that and more coming up right after the ball game on the Northwest Sports Report. So stay tuned to Fox Sports Net. Here's Tim Salmon. 0-1 on Salmon. Salmon has walked twice and also popped up to the catcher Dan Wilson. 0 for 1. Fouls that one away, and the count is 0-2 on Tim. Tim Salmon, an off year, batting just .231 with 16 home runs and only 44 runs batted in. Not Salmon-like numbers, Dave Valley. Not for this guy.
And this guy's been such an important part of this ball club for so many years. Tim Salmon, Troy Percival, Garrett Anderson are the 3 guys that have been in the American League West and have watched the Mariners clinch and go to postseason play.
Ball 1, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Caps arrived for tonight's ball game with American flag sewn on the side of everybody's cap. In the dirt, that took a bite out of catcher Dan Wilson, and the count is 2-2 on Salmon.
And those caps will have a little bit more significance for the Mariners, as tonight is their first time wearing them. And tonight they clinched the American League West championship.
There's a look at Brett Boone's cap on the side. The American flag. Down and away with another slider. Ball 3. Full count 3-2. Congratulations to the folks in the front office. CEO Howard Lincoln. Club President Chuck Armstrong. Go Mariners. Sign from a fan here at the ballpark tonight. Low and away for ball 4. So Tim Salmon with a walk. So many people contribute in so many ways, Val. Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and the great U.S. of A. Way to go, folks. Scott Spezio will pinch hit for Jose Fernandez. So here is Spezio. Spezio batting .279, 13 home runs, 50 runs batted in. Got the start last night at first base. 0-1.
Rick, it's nights like tonight that are a part of the entire organization, not only from the CEO, but all to the scouts, to the minor league coaches, to the folks here at Safeco Field who are working here at Safeco Field. This is a part of being a part of this organization, and I think everybody should be proud of what has been accomplished on the field, because there are so many things that need to take place for that success out on that baseball field.
How about the guys in the front office? You're right.
People in the
Pat
marketing
Gillick.
department, the communications department, and Kevin Mathers, and I mean, you can go on and on.
1-2 the count on Spezio.
But it is nights like tonight that begin traditions, and the Mariners since 1995 have had a winning tradition.
Mariners already have a champion in their midst. AAA Tacoma winning a co-championship this year in the PCN. Managed by Dan Roan. Dan was called up to the big leagues. He's with the ball club. The Rainier's manager helping out here in the final month of the season. Brett Tomko called up at the end of the Rainier season. There's a look at Brett, and there's a look at Dan Roan. Manager of the
Congratulations
year.
to Dan.
Yeah. PCO Manager of the Year, Dan Roan. Way to go, Dan. Up and in, ball 3, full count 3-2 on Scott Spezio. 1 on, 2 outs, top of the 8th. Mariners lead Anaheim 5-0. Ramon Vasquez, a great year at AAA Tacoma.
And it's great for young players like Ramon to start to get a taste of what that winning is like when you're in the minor leagues, and then for him to come up here and get a taste of what it's like to win on the big league level.
Spezio lines out right to John Olerud to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left on. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Our score, the Mariners 5 and the Angels nothing. Seattle Mariners baseball is brought to you by Pennzoil, protection under the toughest driving conditions. By your Northwest Ford stores, home of the #1 selling trucks in the Northwest. By your local tire factory store, take us along for the ride. And by Western Washington KFC. Bottom of the 8th inning, Mariners lead the Angels by a score of 5-0. We've got a new pitcher for the Angels. Hard throwing right-hander Troy Percival will take over in relief, Val.
This guy does rush it up there.
Oh, yeah.
Troy Percival with a great fastball, about 96, 97 miles an hour, big curveball. He's appeared in 53 games, one of the top closers in the American League with 38 saves. Opponents having a rough time against this man, hitting only 194. Percival with 63 strikeouts and 53 2/3 innings.
He'll face John Olerud and Mike Cameron and then Charles Gibson. Mariners shut out the Angels last night 4-0. A complete game performance by Freddie Garcia. Jamie Moyer a chance to pick up his 18th win of the year. The Angels will have one more try coming up in the top half of the 9th. Strike on the outside corner, 1-1 on John Olerud. Ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. Jamie Moyer's highest win total ever in his career, 17 wins. Back in 1997 when he was 17-5 with the Mariners. Little outside for ball 4. So John Olerud with a leadoff walk here in the 8th. Brings up center fielder Mike Cameron. Cameron has scored a couple of times tonight. Walk came in to score in the 2nd on the 2-out double by Mark McLemore. Singled leading off the 6th, stole 2nd, and scored on a base hit to right field by Jay Buhner. Oh, and 1 the count.
Percival's the type of pitcher, as you go up there, you've got to be looking for something hard. He's got such an overpowering fastball. When he throws that little breaking ball over for a strike, he means very tough.
Look at that 100-mile-an-hour fastball up and in from Troy Percival.
See, and you
Wow.
can't come off of that pitch. I mean, if you're not looking for a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, you're not going to hit it.
Up and in, 100 miles an hour. That was only 99.
You know, it's actually pretty amazing how many guys we've seen hit 3 digits here at Safeco Field this year. There's some guys who can really rush it up there.
Look at that, a breaking ball, and Cameron fouls it away, and the count is still 1-2 on Mike. This is quite a pair right here. Jeff Nelson talking to Jay Buhner inside the dugout. Nelly and Jay's other teammates talking to Jay to stay with it after the injury at the end of February, to come back and rehab and see what kind of contribution he could make toward the end of the year, and he stayed with it.
Nelly, who encouraged Jay to come back and say, hey, let's win a World Series together.
There you go. They'll have that chance. 2 very close friends. Issaquah residents.
And Nelly, over the last 4 years, of kind of just using it to jab at Jay Buhner every time he came back from the East Coast with a big old ring on his finger.
1 out for the Mariners. Here's Charles Gibson. 0-1 the count, and Charles is first at bat. Yeah, Jay said, I got tired of seeing all those championship trophies at Nelly's house. He says, I want one.
All I know is one year there was a costume party and Nelly showed up in his Yankee uniform. He said, I'm a world champion.
Oh, into the count on Gibson. 1 on, 1 away. Nelly told Jay Buhner, don't give up, and he didn't. Swing and a miss, and a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, strike 3. So 2 outs for the Mariners here in the 8th, with 1 man aboard, and that'll bring up Dan Wilson. Yeah, thanks to Seattle's dream team for bringing smiles and hope to the mourning and the despair. Go Mariners, we love you all. From Spokane, Washington.
Thank you, Spokane.
What a wonderful banner.
I
Says
love
it
that
all
one right there. That's wonderful.
Isn't that great? Van Wilson, a check swing, pitch is low for ball 1. Yes, there is hope. There's a lot of it. And this country will bounce back. And this is part of the process, the healing process. Swing and a miss by Dan, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Up and in, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike on Dan. Mariners a run in the 2nd, 3 runs in the 5th. The big hit, a 2-run home run by Edgar Martinez, and a run in the 6th. Jamie Moyer wins 6 shutout innings tonight. 1-2. Make it 2-2 the count. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Troy Percival strikes out the side here in the bottom half of the 8th. We go to the top of the 9th inning. The last try for the Angels. Our score, the Mariners 5 and the Angels nothing.
Guys are with 41 saves. Lou's having the opportunity to get the majority of the guys from the bullpen into the ball game tonight. Get them back out in the swing of things. Lou wanting to get Kaiser at least an inning here tonight. Get an opportunity after the long layoff to get back out on the mound. And also to get these guys to be a part of tonight. Lou knowing that the Mariners had clinched it by the 5th inning. All of these guys wanting to be a part of this game tonight.
He has used Paniagua, Rhodes, Nelson, and now Kazuhiro Sasaki after the outstanding performance of Jamie Moyer. Jamie, 6 innings tonight, gave up no runs. Only 3 hits. He walked a couple and struck out 4, and a chance for Jamie to pick up a career-high 18th win. Mariners 3 outs away from the victory. Sasaki will take a look at Ben Molina.
then Adam Kennedy, and then Jose Nieves.
You really can't say enough about the job that Jamie Moyer did. He really only had one inning where he ran into some trouble with the bases loaded, but very methodically worked his way out, made his pitches, and got Jose Nieves to strike out with the bases loaded.
On a changeup, a 3-2 changeup. Up and in with that splitter that got away from Kazu Sasaki. Now remember, Kazu hasn't pitched in over a week. A lot of these guys will take a little time to get that sharpness back.
Those are some of the type of things that you will see when guys have been out of their rhythm and routine.
Back with the fastball, gets it on by Ben Molina. The count is now 1-2.
And it's going to be their field pitches that come last. They're all very strong because they're very well rested, but it's the forkball, the split finger, the curveball that they need to get out there and start to use it and put it as part of their repertoire.
And I'm swinging at the fastball, strike 3. So 1 out for the Angels here in the top of the 9th inning. Mariners will celebrate in their own way this evening. Very respectable way. Inside that dugout, Jay Buhner and the rest of his teammates. Mariners have clinched the American League West. Dan Javier, one in addition. He has been the last 2 years. Ever President Edgar Martinez. Lou Piniella giving Aaron Seeley a pat on the back. And there's Michael Spears, Jam of the clubhouse crew with the sweatshirt that says 2001 American League West champions. The Mariners have clinched tonight with Oakland losing this evening down in Texas to the Rangers 10-4. They have clinched the title here in game number 146 on the year. Fouled away by Kennedy, and the count is 0-2.
It's like Jose Paniagua sporting the new lid that the guys will have in the locker room. So we get a close look at that. Division champions, 2001.
Mariners have won the West. Outside, ball 1, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kennedy hitting .278, 6 home runs, and 38 runs batted in. His first at bat of the ball game. That splitter is in the dirt, and the count 2-2. And Jose Paniagua sporting the championship T-shirt for the American League West title.
Jose's got the whole outfit on.
Jose worked tonight, a third of an inning. Did not give up a run. No walks, no strikeouts for Jose. The 2-2. Ground ball to the second baseman, Brett Boone. 2 outs for the Angels here in the top of the 9th inning. Mariners 1 out away from their 106th win of the year. Fans are on their feet, 45,000 plus here at Safeco Field. The Mariners, the champions in the West. They're going to the postseason for the 4th time in their history. Many fans wrapped in the American flag, where they brought the banners and out to the ballpark tonight. Jamie Moyer tonight, 6 shutout innings, a chance to pick up a career-high 18th win this evening. And there is ball 1 to Jose Nieves. Nieves is 1 for 3. Stay tuned for the post-game celebration on the field and inside the clubhouse. Fouled back by Nieves, and the count is even. Nieves at 1 ball and 1 strike. Mariners shut out the Angels last night 4-0. Jeff Nelson with American League West Division champion cap on. Nelly 1 inning of relief with a couple of strikeouts tonight.
I have a feeling we may see something very special when this final out is made. So folks, stay tuned.
And then is strike 2 on Jose Nieves. 1-2 the count. As we remember the tragedy in New York and Washington. And now the road to recovery begins. Popped up right side of the diamond. Brett Boone is there. He makes the catch, and the ball game is over. The Mariners blank the Angels 5-0 as the Mariners go onto the field. They are the American League West champions for 2001. They're going to the postseason for the 4th time in their 20-plus history here in Seattle. Celebrate, fans, celebrate. And the banner out there in straightaway center field, 2001 American League West champions.
You can tell by the faces. It's been a long culmination of a great year. Guys having phenomenal personal years, but this team has really come together chemistry-wise. These guys have been so consistent all season long.
Stay tuned, folks. The Northwest Sports Report begins right now. Special coverage of the Mariners clinching of the American League West here in 2001.